A very good morning to all the distinguished guests present here with us and also all the esteemed national and international participants who have joined us for the celebration of the 16th Statistics Day 2022. This year, with the decelerating trend of COVID intensity, a celebration in hybrid mode has been organized. Nevertheless, the COVID protocols and COVID-appropriate behaviors will be appreciated as a safety gesture for all. Before formally starting with the program, it is my humble request to kindly keep your mobile phones into silent mode. There has been a last-minute change in the venue of today's celebration of Statistics Day, so inconvenience caused is regretted, and thank you for bearing with us. On behalf of Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, I, Sudipta Ghosh, along with my colleague Ms. Pankuri Pandey, would host you for the next 2 hours and help you sail through the journey of celebration of the Statistics Day 2022. Statistics is not a new notion for India. Rather, it has been used in the Indian subcontinent since antiquity. India has a long historical tradition of collection and use of various kinds of statistics. It is indeed interesting and illuminating to note that statistical knowledge and probabilistic ideas were attributed to the kings and rulers mentioned in the great Indian epic, the Mahabharata. The prevalence of data collection is evidenced through the great treatise in economics, Kautilya's Arthashastra. In recent times, late Professor Prashantha Mahalanobis pioneered the applications of statistical methods to problems in anthropology, meteorology, and biology. A physicist by training, a statistician by instinct, and an economist by conviction, Professor P.C. Mahalanobis contributed immensely on the academic side as the founder of the prestigious Indian Statistical Institute, organizer of the Indian statistical system, architect of the Indian Second Five-Year Plan, and much more. He introduced innovative techniques for conducting large-scale sample surveys and calculated acreages and crop yields by using the method of random sampling. With the objective of providing comprehensive socioeconomic statistics, Mahalanobis established the National Sample Survey in 1950 and also set up the Central Statistical Organization to coordinate statistical activities in India. His other massive contributions include the development of the concept of Mahalanobis distance and fractile graphical analysis. Today, we have all gathered here to commemorate the birth anniversary of late Professor Prashantha Mahalanobis, a recipient of the Padma Vibhushan, the second highest civilian award, the father of modern statistics in India, and the creator of an enriched statistical legacy in India. Professor Mahalanobis, a man of numbers, threw open vast pastures of new knowledge for the advancement of science and society. In the words of Daniel K. Moron, you can have data without information, but you cannot have information without data. To popularize the use of statistics in everyday life and to sensitize the public as to how statistics help in shaping and framing policies, the Government of India has been celebrating Statistics Day, designated one of the special days to be celebrated at the national level on the birth anniversary of late Professor P.C. Mahalanobis on 29th of June in recognition of his invaluable contribution in establishing the national statistical system. We all know statistics is backed by data, and data has become synonymous to knowledge. This year, the theme for the Statistics Day is Data for Sustainable Development. To celebrate this very important day, we have amongst us eminent dignitaries, Honorable Minister of State, Independent Charge, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, who has joined with us virtually, Rao Indrajit Singh, Professor Bimal Kumar Roy, Chairman, National Statistical Commission, Dr. G.P. Samanta, Chief Statistician of India and Secretary, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, Shri M.M. Hasija, Director General Coordination and Administration, and Shri Nandakumar, Additional Director General, Inter and International Coordination on the dais. A very warm welcome to all present here and those connected through various electronic modes. Before formally starting with the program, I request Ms. Aisha Saeed to kindly present a bouquet to Professor Bimal Kumar Roy, Chairman, National Statistical Commission. Welcome, sir. I request Ms. Shrutimala Rajvanshi to present a bouquet to Dr. G.P. Samanta, Chief Statistician of India and Secretary, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Welcome you, sir. Now I request Ms. Preeti Jain to kindly present a bouquet to Shri M.M. Hasija, Director General, Coordination and Administration. I request Ms. Minakshi Rana Chaudhary to present a bouquet to Shri Nandakumar, Additional Director General, Inter and International Coordination. Thank you. Thank you, sir. May I now request Shri M.M. Hasija, Director General, Coordination and Administration, to address the very august gathering present here. Shri Hasija, an Indian Statistical Service Officer of 1985 batch, is spearheading a whole gamut of work related to inter, and international coordination, training and capacity building, data informatics and innovation and program implementation, to name just a few in the ministry. Sir.
Good morning to all of you. Honorable Minister of State, Independent Charge, Minister of Statistics and Program Implementation, Ministry of Planning, Minister of State for Corporate Affairs, Rao Inderjit Singh Ji, who has joined us virtually, Chairman, National Statistical Commission, Professor Bimal Roy, Chief Session of India, Secretary, Minister of Statistics and Program Implementation, Dr. G.P. Samanta, Dr. Sangamitra, Bandupadhyay, Director ISI, who has joined us virtually, officers of central and state governments, representatives of international organizations, recipients of Professor P.B. Sukhatme Award 2022, recipients of Professor P.C. Mahalanobis National Award in Official Statistics 2022, winners of the on-the-spot essay competition, and their family members, speakers and dignitaries joining the celebrations virtually and physically, friends from the media, other participants, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me immense pleasure for me to welcome you all on this occasion of the 16th Statistics Day celebrations. For us, the Statistics Day celebration is an occasion to popularize the use of statistics and also pay for our tribute to the late Professor P.C. Mahalanobis for his immense contribution to the development of statistics in India, both as an academic discipline and as a tool for public policy. Professor Mahalanobis' achievements in the field of statistics are pioneering and widely acclaimed. He will always be remembered for his path-breaking research contributions to the field of statistics and for providing the architecture of the second five-year plan, setting up the Indian Statistical Institute, among his many landmarks, contributions to the nation. The large-scale sample survey techniques as being conducted today owe their foundation to the pioneering work done by Professor Mahalanobis. Today, when we celebrate 16th Statistics Day with Data for Sustainable Development as its theme, it resonates the attraction of importance of data as the key towards measurement of progress for development. During the Statistics Day, Ministry also felicitates winners of various awards instituted for their contributions to the field of applied and offshore statistical systems of the country. To create awareness among the youngsters, Ministry also organizes essay competition on topics related to offshore statistical system among the students across the country. The winners of the essay competition would also be facilitated during this event. We are blessed with the august presence virtually of our Honorable Minister Rao Inderjit Singh, Minister of State, independent charge of MSPI Planning and Corporate Affairs. I welcome you, sir, for this program. I welcome other dignitaries on the dais, Professor Bimal Kumar Roy, Chairman NSC, Dr. G.P. Samanta, Chief Session of India and Secretary of MSPI, and Sri A. Nand Kumar, Additional Director General, MSPI, to this event. We are grateful to have the presence of Mr. Shombi Sharp, UN Resident Coordinator, India, and Mr. Sanjay Kumar, National Program Officer, UNFPA, and Srimati R. Savitri, ADG MSPI, as resource persons for technical sessions of the event. On behalf of the Ministry, I welcome Mr. Shombi Sharp, UNRC India, Mr. Sanjay Kumar, and Srimati R. Savitri to this program. I also welcome all distinguished participants, officers from the ministries, institutions, and states, winners of awards instituted by the ministry, and winners of essay competition. Family members of the awards winners who are joining with us, media, friends, and colleagues, to this event on Statistics Day 2022. I also welcome all the participants who will be joining with us virtually during this program. With these words, I, on behalf of the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, would like to welcome you all once again and wish that you enjoy the sessions and discussions today. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for those motivational words. Indeed, it has filled more enthusiasm and excitement for the event ahead. I would now request Professor Bimal Kumar Roy, Chairman, National Statistical Commission, Dr. G.P. Samanta, Chief Statistician of India, and Secretary MSPI, and the other dignitaries on the dais to please come forward for the lamp lighting ceremony. I also request the audience to join the lamp lighting ceremony with a round of applause. We, as statisticians, have been bound with the duty to spread light with our data and remove the darkness of ignorance. This is Statistics Day. Let us all pledge to be a lamp in the darkness and to allow the brightness of knowledge to overcome the darkness of inequality and injustice in the society, leading us on the path of growth, equality, and social justice. Thank you so much, sirs. The theme for this Statistics Day, Data for Sustainable Development, is of huge importance for all official statisticians. Data revolution for sustainable development reshapes how knowledge is produced and used. Policy is formulated and governance is redefined and enacted around the world. At its core, it's about people as users, producers, beneficiaries, and owners of data. On this occasion, we have with us Dr. G.P. Samanta, Chief Statistician of India and Secretary, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Sir is the former advisor at Reserve Bank of India. He is a prolific researcher. He did his PhD in economics from Department of Economics, University of Mumbai, and his postdoctoral research from John F. Kennedy School of Government, Harvard University, Cambridge, USA. In recognition to his strong and demonstrable leadership potential, Dr. Samanta was selected for King's Chevening Gurukul Leadership Program in King's College, London, UK. He is also a proficient educator, as Dr. Samanta has supervised PhD students, and trained MBA students in areas like financial risk management and financial economics in Sailesh J. Mehta School of Management, IIT Mumbai. Sir is the recipient of several national and international awards, including Manubhai M. Shah Memorial Award for the year 2015, VKRV Rao Prize in Economics for the year 2006, and Mahalanobis Memorial Medal Award for the year 2006. Dr. Samantha is the life member for the Econometric Society, Indian Institute of Banking and Finance, Indian Science Congress, and Society of Statistics, Computer and Applications. With a huge round of applause, may I now request the Chief Statistician of India and Secretary MOSPI to kindly address the august gathering.
Good morning to you all. Honorable Minister of State, Independent Charge, Minister of Statistics and Program Implementation, and Minister of Planning, and Minister of State, Minister of Corporate Affairs, Rao Inderjit Singh Ji, who has joined this program virtually, Professor Bimal Kumar Rai, Honorable Chairperson, National Statistical Commission, Professor Sangamitra Bandupadhyay Ji, who is Director, ISI, and also joining this program virtually, other dignitaries on the dais, senior officers of the central and state governments, representatives of international organizations, awardees who are going to be felicitated today, speakers and dignitaries joining the celebration virtually as well as physically, friends from media, ladies and gentlemen. On the occasion of 16th Statistics Day, I extend my greetings and welcome you all to the event. Statistics Day, as we all know, is celebrated to popularize the use of statistics in everyday life and to honor the invaluable contributions of Professor Prashantha Chandra Mahalanobis, Professor P.C. Mahalanobis, on his birth anniversary on June 29 at national level. Professor P.C. Mahalanobis was pivotal in evolution of statistical system in India. He was also instrumental in the creation of both the apex statistical bodies of independent India, that is Central Statistical Organization and National Sample Survey Organization. The Indian Statistical Institute, a premier institute for research and studies in statistics and allied subjects, was also set up by him in pursuit of excellence, and institutions created by Professor Mahalanobis have continuously been evolving and are recognized internationally for playing a pivotal role in their respective realms. I'm happy to inform that this year, Statistics Day is also being celebrated as a part of week-long celebration of this ministry in commemoration of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, which marks the celebration of India's 75 years of independence. The theme chosen for this year's Statistics Day is Data for Sustainable Development. As we know, data is very important in the pyramid called data, information, knowledge, and wisdom. So statistics provide the basis of the data. Also, statistics is helpful to extract information from the data, to extract knowledge from the data, and also to create or make the wisdom from the knowledge we have. Statistical techniques are also useful for that. Sustainable development also, as we know, is basically a commitment to social progress, environmental balance, and economic growth, with the goal of improving the lives of present and the future generations. One of the major steps towards sustainable development has been the adoption of Agenda 2030 for Sustainable Development by the United Nations, which enlists the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. As we know, timely and quality data is paramount to monitor the progress and support evidence-based policies, and intervention to the SDG attainment. Let me take this opportunity to put forth some of the developments and initiatives taken by MOSPI in this area in recent years. To monitor the progress of implementation of SDGs, MOSPI, in consultation with concerned ministries, departments, United Nations agencies, and other stakeholders, developed a national indicator framework. MOSPI, in its effort toward putting forward the report card on achievements of SDGs, releases Sustainable Development Goals, National Indicator Framework, and Progress Report, along with the revised National Indicator Framework annually. Data for the national indicators are being taken from various ministries, departments, including administrative data, census, and surveys. Currently, there exists a huge challenge in the availability of disaggregated data. To bridge the data gaps on national as well as global SDG indicators, MOSPI carried out a nationwide multiple indicator survey as part of the 78th round of national sample survey during the period January 2020 to August 2021. MOSPI has also aligned some of the existing surveys, such as periodic labor force survey, time use survey, as per the SDG data requirements. MOSPI will make constant efforts to supplement the data gaps on SDG-related parameters. MOSPI has recently released Strategy for Environment Economic Account in India for the year 2022 to 2026. The strategy identifies the long-term and short-term activities aligned with the areas that need to be targeted during the period. It will not just be useful for SDGs related to environment, but also those related to agriculture, energy, sustainable production, and consumptions. I am glad that the UN Resident Coordinator for India, Mr. Sambi Sarb, Dr. Sanjay Kumar, National Program Officer, UNFPA, have accepted our invitation and agreed to share their views on today's theme. I'm told that as Indian Statistical Institute is also celebrating Workers' Day on 29 June today at Kolkata, Professor Sangamitra Bandupadhyay, Director of ISI, could not attend this event in person. However, she has been kind enough to share a pre-recorded message on the occasion. I am thankful to her for this. On the occasion of Statistics Day, this ministry also felicitates the outstanding contributions in the field of theoretical, applied, and official statistics by instituting various awards at the national level. I take this opportunity to congratulate the winners of Professor P.V. Sukadme Award, Professor P.C. Mahalanobis National Award in Official Statistics for the year 2021. I'm told not to reveal the names now. I also congratulate all participants on the Essay Spot Essay Winning Competition 2022 and winners of the competition. I wish them all a very bright future ahead. I sincerely hope that celebration of Statistics Day in the memory of Professor Prashantha Chandra Mahalanobis will inspire statisticians, economists, planners, and policymakers nationwide and affirm our commitment towards robust data systems that can guide policies and strategies on the path of sustainable development. Thank you very much for your participation and attention. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for your magnificent expositions. Your wisdom always provides the required thrust for the ministry to propel towards more and more progress. Today, on this occasion of the Statistics Day, I am reminded of the words of Mark Twain, who once said, "Facts are stubborn, but statistics are more pliable." The National Statistical Commission is mandated to evolve policies, priorities, and standards in statistical matters in the country. The NSC leads the ministry towards a statistically sound system. We are extremely delighted to have amongst us today Professor Bimal Kumar Roy, a recipient of Padma Shri, the 4th largest civilian award of the Republic of India, and the chairperson of the National Statistical Commission, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, Government of India. His other key leadership roles in professional bodies include Initiator Mentor MSc in Data Science at various institutes and Founder Secretary Cryptology Research Society in India. Professor Roy is the former director of the Indian Statistical Institute and head of R.C. Bose Center for Cryptology and Security. He developed cryptographic algorithm for various government agencies and provided the essential know-hows on the methodology and application-oriented nuances of statistics to NSS, Reserve Bank of India, and Ministry of Labor, etc., in conducting nationwide surveys, data analysis, and inferences. Sir, I take the privilege to invite you to share your words of wisdom. Sir.
Well, good morning, and first let me thank you for the very, very beautiful introduction. Honorable Minister Ravinderjit Singh ji, Secretary and CSI Dr. Shamanto, also my student, Mr. Hasija, Mr. Anantakumar, the awardees, at least I know Professor Padam Singh for a long time when I was a student, Dr. D.K. Sinha, and all the other dignitaries, the young statisticians sitting at the back. Very good morning again. And since this is the birthday of Professor P.C. Mahalanobis, in fact, it's 129th birthday of his, I will just like to highlight some of his very fundamental and very basic contributions which changed the world altogether. I'll start with a very famous quotation by him, which doesn't seem to be very popular, so I'll quote it here. He says that the scientific principles, including the social science, are not in capital, decided by, number 1, authority, number 2, beliefs, number 3, by majority. So how is it decided? So all the evidences in support of these principles have to be placed to the court of statistics and get vetted by the statistical principles and laws. So this is a very profound statement by him, which sets the importance of statistics in the entire domain of science. And I find very unusual that this younger generation is not quite aware of this one. When I teach, I talk about that, but I travel to all parts of India and ask the kids, they don't seem to be aware of this very famous quote. Now his 4 major contributions. Number 1, the distance. Before him, the only notion of distance we had is what we learned in the geometry, Euclidean distance. You know, take 2 points, draw a line, straight line, and measure the length. But when science was evolving, now we had the notion of similarity, dissimilarities, like say myself and Dr. Shamanto, we are probably more similar than maybe myself and the UN representative. So there's a notion of similarity and dissimilarity existent in the entire domain. So how do I measure this one? An Euclidean distance is not capable of measuring this distance. So he came up with his notion of distance, which was rejected at that point of time by the entire statistics community worldwide, but then later became the most cited scientific paper on earth. So this is known as Mahalanobis distance. I don't want to go to technical, but this is followed by every branch of science. If we talk of similarity, dissimilarity, we think of Mahalanobis distance. The second one, people didn't realize, but I have claimed, and the international body never objected to my claims, that we talk of bootstrap techniques these days. It was formally proposed by Professor Efron in Stanford University in 1976, but it was actually, in a sense, practiced and proposed by P.C. Mahalanobis by means of what we do in our sampling by half sampling or interpenetrative subsampling. This is the root of bootstrap. So he could think of this, which is being used these days. Why he did not succeed in proceeding further, as I understand later on from C.R. Rao, at that time there was not much of computing machineries available. So he could not go beyond these half sampling techniques. If we had these modern computers, this entire bootstrap probably would have been proposed by PCM himself. Okay, his third contribution. He used to play with data, and he devised a methodology of data analysis, what you call fractal graphical analysis. And this is the root of a subject non-parametric statistics. So if you think deeply, what you do in non-parametric statistics, this basically has the root in PCM's fractal graphical analysis. So even I claim internationally, no matter where I go, that he is also the father of non-parametric statistics. And no one challenged my conviction or my claim. And the fourth one, which is relevant today, so after the Second World War, after this UN was formed, UN formed a United Nations Statistical Commission. So he was a member from India, and he was also the chairman of the subcommittee on sampling from 47 to 51. And as a follow-up, he formed the NSSO in 1951 within ISI. Now, the whole idea of large-scale sampling and how to take it forward, how to do it, how to go to the grassroots level sampling, how to analyze this, and this entire setup was set up by UN, but he was chairing that committee. And after NSS was formed, the principles that he had formed, I think it's internationally accepted in many places. For example, I know Statistics Canada followed our NSS principles to formulate their data collection procedure way back in 1950s. So these four contributions, I would say there are many by him, but very significant, and we all must know. And maybe we can actually prepare one leaflet and give it to at least all the MPs and bureaucrats. They should know that this has been the contribution which is internationally very, very significant. And I'll conclude with one of my observations. This is mainly for the statistics community and also maybe Niti Aayog. I'm going to meet the new Vice Chairman Niti Aayog after this meeting for a short while. My one experience with my students, I'm not retired from ISI yet, although this ex-director is just a term. I was teaching my visited third-year students, and few of the very, very bright, interesting students, they told, sir, we come from very well-off families, number one. That's not their fault. And also, MOSPI gives significant financial support to all the students. Okay, even when I grew up at ISI as a student, we got the support from the government to take care of the hostel expenses. No tuition fee plus hostel expenses are basically taken up. They said that we want to understand the notion of poverty in India these days. I told, okay, this is not a very trivial job. Then you have to really visit at least a significant number of households which in our perception, we think they are poor. It's not nice that we have still poor people, but still in our perception there are poor people. You have to go and meet them and talk to them personally. Do you have the time? He says, yes, sir, we'll spare our time. And then I told, okay, why don't you go to, well, again, according to my ideas and perception, we have an office, also of the NSO now in Giridih. So if you just go 10 kilometers from Giridih, I've been there many times, there are mostly tribal villages. And as I've seen even 10 years back, in my known notion, people were actually very poor. So I told you go and visit them, and I can arrange your visit from the Giridih area. NSO has a jeep, ISI has a jeep, so you can take these two jeeps, spend some 4 or 5 days, but go furthest from Giridih town, so go to the real tribal villages. And after their 5 or 6 days visit, they visited about 150 tribal households. They talked to the sarpanch of the villages, they talked to the BDOs, and they came back with a perception that the notion of poverty that they had in mind from literature and media and etc. is not really true. So for example, the PDS has reached each and every household in those tribal villages. So they don't know what is hunger. It's a good thing for the Indian government that they have removed hunger. We have one SDG goal, zero hunger, by 2025. And if their perception from their experience with so-called poor people in these tribal villages, we might have achieved already pretty much of their zero hunger SDG goal. This is something praiseworthy, but anyway, we need to do a much wider study. But I'm talking about their perception. Okay, then they had come up with their own ideas of when they see a household, they have a basic look at that household. They're living, is there a bicycle lying there, at the furnitures there. So first they have their own perception of, is this household poor or not? So they record it. Okay, then they collect the parameters which are used to calculate this multidimensional poverty index by Niti Aayog. And they were trying to match the MPI values for these households with their perceptions, and there seems to be quite a gap. So I think this has to be given some importance, and I'm going to talk to the Niti Aayog Vice Chairman that maybe you can probably relook at the way you have designed your weights of multidimensional poverty index. So this is something I think if we could approach, PCM would be happy from the heaven too. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the valuable address and insights given to us. It is an honor for all of us to have you here. Thank you so much for gracing the occasion. One of the dignitaries who could not join us today physically is Professor Sangamitra Bandupadhyay. She has been kind enough to record a message for us on this occasion. Before we hear her message, I take the privilege to introduce her. Professor Sangamitra Bandupadhyay did her BTech, MTech, and PhD in Computer Science from Calcutta University, IIT Kharagpur, and Indian Statistical Institute, respectively. She then joined the Indian Statistical Institute as a faculty member and then became director in year 2015. Her research interests include computational biology, soft and evolutionary computation, artificial intelligence and machine learning. She has authored, co-authored several books and numerous articles in journals, book chapters, and conference proceedings, and has a citation edge index of 56. Professor Bandupadhyay has worked in many institutes and universities worldwide. She is the recipient of several awards, including Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Prize in Engineering Science, TWAS Prize, Infosys Prize, J.C. Bose Fellowship, Swarn Jayanti Fellowship, INAE Silver Jubilee Award, INAE Woman Engineer of the Year Award, IIT Kharagpur Distinguished Alumni Award, Humboldt Fellowship from Germany, Senior Associateship of ICTP, Italy, Young Engineer Scientist Award from INSA, INAE and ISCA, and Dr. Shankar Dayal Sharma Gold Medal and Institute Silver from IIT Kharagpur, India. She has been a member of Science, Technology and Innovation Advisory Council of the Prime Minister of India since 2022. In March 2022, she has been conferred the Padma Shri, the fourth highest civilian award of the Government of India. I would like to request to kindly play the recorded message received from Professor Bandupadhyay.
Honorable Minister of Statistics and Program Implementation, Sri Rao Inderjeet Singh, Honorable Secretary of the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, Dr. G.P. Shamunto, esteemed colleagues from MUSPI, guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to participate in the National Statistics Day program organized by the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. My heartfelt gratitude to Dr. G.P. Shamunto, for inviting me to this function. Today, the country is celebrating the birth anniversary of Prashantha Chandra Mahalanobis, the father of the Indian statistical system, commemorating his contributions to statistics and its use in Indian planning and development. His contributions affect us in many ways each and every day, and through these, we already celebrate him every day. But celebrating June 29th as a special day remains important as it raises the awareness of the masses about this extraordinary person and his life, and also about the use of statistics in national development and human welfare. The theme of National Statistics Day 2022 is Data for Sustainable Development. In today's world, where we are inundated with data, the theme chosen is very apt and relevant. As is being increasingly realized, the real bottleneck today is not the availability of data, but the availability of skilled personnel who can make sense out of this data. Moreover, the focus these days is not only on development, but on development that can meet the needs of today, while ensuring that the future generations will be able to meet their needs in future. The focus, therefore, is on green and clean technologies, including renewable energy, converting waste to wealth, conserving water, reducing pollution, sustainable agriculture, and developing sustainable cities and communities. The era of big data has necessitated close interactions between statistics, mathematics, and computer science, all three of which are critical for development of data science as we know today, and all three of which are areas where deep expertise exists in the Institute. For us at the Indian Statistical Institute, generating, processing, and analyzing data, along with modeling the processes that create and govern data, has been our strength for a long time now. We have also been playing a major role in training highly skilled human resources who are spread globally and nationally in the top institutions and organizations. In ISI, we see the vision of the founder in action, where theoretical developments coexist side by side with brilliant applications and diverse collaborations. Though research and teaching are the core activities of the Institute, the faculty members also assist different wings of the government in a variety of ways. Several of our colleagues also actively collaborate with the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation through different training and development activities. They are also trying to bridge the gap between the research conducted at the Institute with the requirements of official statistics work of the government. We hope in the time to come we will be able to achieve closer ties with the government and also with the industry, which presents numerous interesting data-centric problems that are intellectually stimulating. I take this opportunity to once again extend my heartfelt gratitude to the Honorable Minister of Statistics and Program Implementation, the Secretary, and all colleagues in MUSPI for conducting the day's event and for all the support that the Institute receives from them all the time. I wish all of you a very happy National Statistics Day. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Integrity, insights, and inclusiveness are the three essential qualities of leadership, and Ms. Sangamitra possesses all of them. Thank you, ma'am, for such an intellectual and enlightening speech. We now come to the next session of today's program schedule. Excellence is the gradual result of always striving to do better. It is the unlimited ability to improve the quality what you already have to offer. In order to promote excellence and recognizing outstanding contributions made by the official statisticians in the area of official and administrative statistics in India, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation has instituted Professor P.C. Mahalanobis National Award in Official Statistics for outstanding and meritorious contributions for development and promotion of official statistics. There are 3 categories of award. Category A for in-service official statistician with less than 45 years of age. Category B for in-service official statistician above 45 years of age. And Category 3 for non-serving or retired official statistician for their lifetime achievements who have served in the government or autonomous bodies throughout their career. The awards are presented every year on the occasion of the Statistics Day, which consists of a shawl, memento, and a citation, along with a cash prize of Rs 2 lakhs. This year, we have a joint awards for Category B. It is now time to felicitate the winners of Professor P.C. Mahalanobis National Award in Official Statistics 2022 in Category B, which is for in-service official statistician above 45 years of age. For this category in 22, the award will be jointly conferred upon 2 extremely brilliant statisticians of India. The joint awardee for this category is Shri Dilip Kumar Sinha, Deputy Director General, National Accounts Division, and Dr. K.P. Suresh, Principal Scientist, National Institute of Veterinary Epidemiology and Disease Informatics. Shri Sinha has work experience of about 22 years in diverse fields of official statistics at different levels of functioning, including 10 years of exclusive experience in the field of price statistics. He was deeply involved in developing and launching of new CPI in January 2011. He has put concerted efforts in carrying out base revision of Consumer Price Index, aligning with that of the internationally recommended methodology. He has contributed in the activities of price statistics at national as well as international forums. He actively worked for international comparison program to compute purchasing power parity of different countries, including India. Shri Dilip Kumar Sinha was member of task force of the Technical Advisory Board and contributed in publication of the World Bank titled A Guide to the Integration of Consumer Price Index and International Comparison Program production activities. He remained instrumental in encouraging states for developing sub-state CPI and integrating it with state and national CPI through extensive training and hand-holding of the state officers. He has authored many papers on methodology, use, and analysis of price statistics and national account statistics, with special focus on practical issues and their possible solutions. May I now invite Professor Bimal Kumar Roy, Chairman, National Statistical Commission, to kindly present the award, which includes a shawl, a memento, and a citation to Shri Dilip Kumar Sinha, Deputy Director General, National Accounts Division, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. A big round of applause to Shri Dilip Kumar Sinha. Congratulations, sir. Thank you, sir. The next joint awardee for this category is Dr. K.P. Suresh, who in his early career in the ICAR National Institute of Animal Nutrition and Physiology significantly contributed in developing models for forecasting the availability and requirements of feed resources like dry fodder, concentrates, and green fodder. In ICAR, Dr. Suresh has significantly contributed in the area of veterinary epidemiology and disease informatics. He was instrumental in development of the National Animal Disease Referral Expert System, a dynamic web application used for nationwide forecasting of livestock diseases using artificial intelligence and machine learning tools. He's also handling various One Health programs like DBT One Health, National Agriculture Science Fund on Coronavirus Epidemiology, for providing the solutions on sampling plan, epidemiological analytics, and prediction, and has developed the important national database framework for National Surveillance Program on Aquatic Diseases. He has also contributed for implementation of statistical approach in the field of bioinformatics. For his scientific contributions, Stanford University has ranked him in top 2% scientist. May I again request Professor Bimal Kumar Roy, Chairman, National Statistical Commission, to kindly present the award, which includes a shawl, a memento, and citation to Dr. K.P. Suresh. Congratulations, sir. The Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation is pleased to honor both the awardees with the prestigious Professor P.C. Mahalanobis National Award in Official Statistics. You have truly demonstrated how to bridge the gap between statistics in theory and statistics in actual practice. A big round of applause for both these awardees. Thank you, sir.
Moving ahead to the next category of awards. In recognition of the contribution of Professor P.V. Sukhatme, a renowned statistician for his outstanding contribution and distinguished service to the cause of statistics and its application to agriculture, an elite field of statistics, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation has instituted a biennial national award in statistics in his memory for senior statisticians for their significant and lifetime contribution in the field of statistics. This award carries a shawl, a memento, a citation, and a cash prize of ₹5 lakhs. This year, Professor P.V. Sukhatme National Award 2022 is being conferred upon Dr. Padam Singh, former member, National Statistical Commission. The Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation recognizes Dr. Padam Singh's contribution as not only significant but path-breaking, and at the same time is honored to confer this year's Professor P.V. Sukhatme Award upon him. It may not be possible at once to enumerate all the contributions made by Dr. Padam Singh to the field of statistics. However, after receiving the award, I will try to enumerate and summarize some of them. Dr. Padam Singh acquired his PhD in statistics from Delhi University. He had an illustrious career spanning from Associate Professor of Statistics, ISRI, Joint Advisor, Planning Commission, Director, National Institute of Medical Science, Medical Statistics, New Delhi, Additional Director General, ICMR, and Member, National Statistical Commission, MOSPI. Dr. Padam Singh has been closely involved in large-scale surveys such as National Family Health Survey, Annual Health Survey, and District-Level Health Survey, and in evaluation of various national programs and schemes. He has contributed in issues related to statistical methodologies, having bearing on national perspective. Most importantly, the Technical Expert Committee of ICMR under his chairmanship examined the appropriateness of indicators used in Global Hunger Index in measuring hunger. He also chaired Ministry of Health and Family Welfare Committee for estimation of annual deaths due to malaria. Dr. Singh, in a WHO-funded pan-India study on primitive tribes, experimented with a model of community volunteers to act as a link between community and health service providers to effectively improve utilization of health services. This project led to the evolution of ASHAs, known as Accredited Social Health Activists under National Rural Health Mission. Dr. Padam Singh's contribution in sampling theory on new systematic sampling scheme for unbiased regression estimator, PPS sampling scheme, etc. are one of them. He has published over 100 research papers on theoretical statistics in the renowned journals such as Biometrica, Biometrical Journal, Journal of Statistical Planning and Inference, Envirometrics, Sankhya, and Journal of Indian Society of Agricultural Statistics. His contribution in applied statistics are published in journals, namely Vaccine Pediatrics, Indian Pediatrics, Indian Journal of Community Medicine, Indian Journal of Community Health, Journal of Preventive and Social Medicine, Journal of Community Medicine, Journal of Family Welfare, etc. Dr. Singh is currently Executive President of Indian Society of Agriculture Statistics and Chief Editor of its journal. He has also guided over 20 PhDs in statistics of various universities. Sir, you are a source of inspiration for all of us, for devoting your life to bring positive social change through statistics. We sincerely look forward to your guidance and mentoring in future as well. Thank you so much, sir.
We now move forward to the next category of awards. Youth of today are the leaders of tomorrow. It is utmost important, therefore, to invest in young talents because they are the hope of future. The Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation organizes an all-India level on-the-spot essay writing competition every year on the subject relevant to statistics or official statistics for the postgraduate students in statistics to commemorate the birth anniversary of eminent statistician Professor P.C. Mahalanobis. The competition aims to inculcate amongst the youth the essence of the importance of the official statistics. Students from various recognized universities all over the country participated in this competition. A total of 12 prize winners have been selected for the essay writing competition. The essays have been evaluated on the basis of contents, originality of ideas, sequence of presentation and writing skills. The prize winners are present here today on this very important occasion. The awards consist of a memento and a certificate. The award for the first prize goes to Ms. Tanika Bisht, Ramjas College, University of Delhi. May I now request Dr. G.P. Samanta, Chief Statistician of India and Secretary MOSPI, to present Ms. Tanika a certificate along with a memento for her remarkable performance. A big round of applause for Ms. Tanika Bisht. Congratulations, Tanika. There are two second prize winners. I now request Dr. G.P. Samanta, Chief Statistician of India and Secretary MOSPI, and Professor Bimal Kumar Roy, Chairman NSC, to present the awards to these prize winners. Ms. Maitri Abhijit, Shivaji University, Kolhapur. Congratulations. And we have Shri Vaibhav Singh, Banaras Hindu University. Congratulations, Vaibhav. A big round of applause for both these prize winners. There are 4 third prize winners. I now request Professor Bimal Kumar Roy, Chairman NSC, and Dr. G.P. Samanta, CSI and Secretary MOSPI, to give away these awards to Ms. Revati B. Jairaj, Pondicherry University. Congratulations, Revati. Shri Rotaj Bharadwaj, Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ambedkar University, Lucknow. Congratulations, Rohitas. Shri Samir Kumar Singh, Banaras Hindu University. Congratulations, Samir. And Shri Ninad Vittal Jadhav, University of Mumbai. Congratulations, Ninad. A big round of applause for these young talents. To give away the consolation prizes, may I now invite Dr. G.P. Samanta, Chief Statistician of India, and Secretary MOSPI, and Professor Bimal Kumar Roy, Chairman, NSC. The consolation prize winners are Ms. Kritika Sonkar, Hindu College, University of Delhi. She is not present in this occasion of the Statistics Day. The next, the award is presented to Ms. Pavitra R., University of Madras. Congratulations, Pavitra. Ms. Raja Khadim, Pondicherry University. Congratulations, Raja. Ms. Anju C. Thomas, University of Calicut. Congratulations, Anju. And Ms. Amala Kuryakos, Kannur University. Congratulations, Amala. Loads of congratulations to these bright bunch of young talents. Thank you, sir, and hearty congratulations once again to these super talented young performers who have exhibited their remarkable talent. The ministry is really proud of you and wish you success in all the future endeavors. I now request Ms. Pankuri to take forward with the next session.
Thank you, ma'am. Honorable Minister of State, Rao Indrajit Singh, has been working tirelessly for the advancement of the objectives of Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. And the ministry has achieved several milestones under his able stewardship. He has always been there for us to encourage and guide us through in difficult times. But due to his onerous responsibilities and several official engagements, Honorable Minister could not be present today on this occasion. However, he has pleased to send a recorded message to guide us through. I would now like to request to kindly play the recorded message received from Sir and bless the gathering with his motivational words.
Professor Bimal Roy, Chairperson, National Statistical Commission, Dr. G.P. Samanta, Chief Statistician and Secretary MOSPI, other dignitaries on the dais, officers of the central and state governments, representatives of international organizations, recipient of Professor P.V. Sukumate National Award 2022, Dr. Padam Singh, recipients of Professor P.C. Mahalanobis National Award in Official Statistics 22, Shri D.K. Sinha and Dr. K.P. Suresh, winners of on-the-spot essay competition and their family members, speakers and dignitaries joining the celebrations virtually as well as physically, friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen. My heartiest wishes to all of you on the occasion of the 16th Statistical Day. As we are aware, in India, the birth anniversary of Professor late P.C. Mahalanobis, the great visionary and doyen of National Official Statistical System, has been celebrated as Statistics Day every year since 2007. With fond remembrance to the invaluable contributions of Professor Mahalanobis, celebration of Statistics Day on his birth anniversary on 29th of June is intended to create awareness and popularize the use of statistics in policy formulation and informed decision making in our day-to-day lives. Apart from this, several contributions to the field of statistics and economic planning, Professor Mahalanobis set up the Indian Statistical Institute at Calcutta in 1931 for research and training in statistics. His vision and efforts established the foundations of National Official Statistical System soon after independence. Every year, Statistics Day is celebrated with a theme of contemporary national importance. I am happy to note that the theme chosen for this year's Statistics Day celebrations is Data for Sustainable Development. The United Nations General Assembly, during the 70th session on September the 25th, 2015, adopted the document titled Transforming Our World, the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, consisting of 17 Sustainable Development Goals and associated 169 targets. In 2022, when the world is still fighting against the adverse impact of COVID-19 pandemic, the SDGs are more important than ever before. While action towards SDGs mark a commitment on sustainability and development, importance of data and framework for monitoring these action points paves the roadmap for their attainment. In 2018, MOSPI developed a national indicator framework on SDGs in sync with global indicator framework, consisting of national level indicators along with identified data sources and periodicity. I am happy that MOSPI is releasing a revised vision of the NIF on SDGs along with the annual progress report on the latest NIF. MOSPI has also become a member of the Interagency and Expert Group on SDG Indicators. The UN Group is responsible for refining and revising the global indicator framework for SDGs. India regularly attends its monthly discussions and contributes in reviewing the methodology, data sources, etc. of SDG indicators. The large-scale sample surveys carried out by the ministry cover important aspects of the economy and provide data inputs for policy formulation for the government. These survey programs are also catering to data requirements of SDGs at the national level. Sustainability and environment aspects go hand in hand. Realizing the growing demand for measuring the contribution of environment to the economy and the impact of economic development on the environment, MOSPI adopted a system of environmental economic accounting SEEA framework in 2018. Since 2018, MOSPI has been regularly releasing information on the environment accounts on selected ecosystems following the SEEA structure in its annual publication EnviStats India. India is increasingly being recognized for its prowess in scientific capabilities, including in the field of data science, and is amongst the front runners of countries of scientific research and emerging disciplines, under the able leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister, Shriman Narendra Modi. I am happy to share that India has been elected to the Governing Council of the United Nations Statistical Institute for Asia and the Pacific. On this occasion of Statistics Day, I wish to appreciate and express our sincere gratitude to all individuals and organizations who have partnered with MOSPI over the years. We intend to deepen and strengthen this association in the larger interest of public. On this occasion, I congratulate Dr. Padam Singh, former member, National Statistical Commission, recipient of Professor P.V. Sukhmate Award for his outstanding meritorious research towards development and improvement of applied and official statistics. I am happy to extend my heartiest congratulations to Shri D.K. Sinha, Deputy Director General MOSPI, and Dr. K.P. Suresh, Principal Scientist, National Institute of Veterinary Epidemiology and Disease Formatics, Indian Council of Agricultural Research, joint recipients of Professor P.C. Mahalanobis National Award in Official Statistics in 2022, in recognition to their outstanding contributions towards development of the Indian official statistical system. We wish the award winners the very best for future endeavors while looking forward to their further association with the national statistical system. I also applaud all my young friends, the participants as well as the winners of the on-the-spot essay writing competition 2022. I wish them a very bright future and look forward to their active association with MOSPI in the days and years to come. Demand for timely and accurate data is growing exponentially with the dynamic, changing society integrated with global economy in the digital area. I am happy that MOSPI is also actively working to accelerate the adoption of technological solutions to meet the growing demand for data. Once again, I extend my best wishes, health and safety to one and all on this Statistics Day. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for your invaluable words of wisdom. It has been rightly said, attitude is contagious. That clearly explains the reason why the entire ministry is perpetually influenced with dedication and enthusiasm. We are extremely fortunate to have you, sir, with a dynamic vision. Quoting the words of Professor P.C. Mahalanobis, there cannot be a good plan for economic progress without adequate data, but there cannot be adequate data without a good plan for collecting them. But compiling good quality data would not suffice the needs of the policymakers and users unless they are properly and timely disseminated to the users. In the words of John F. Kennedy, the goal of education is the advancement of knowledge and dissemination of truth. Today, on the occasion of the Statistics Day, we have the release of a very important and extremely significant document, which is the Sustainable Development Goals National Indicator Framework Progress Report 2022. The report covers all the 17 SDGs with the time series data from 2015-16 to the latest available, that is 2021-22. Comprehensive information on data-based SDG monitoring, data snapshots, and highlights of progress of SDGs have been included in the report, along with the associated metadata and disaggregated data. However, keeping in view the precise requirements of the users to concise publications which are based on the main report are also being released today. Data Snapshot on Sustainable Development Goals National Indicator Framework Progress Report 2022, which essentially present the data summary of the indicators. It provides the time series data and the data sources for the SDG national indicators. Another publication based on the main report is the Sustainable Development Goals National Indicator Framework 2022, which provides a complete list of the SDG goals, targets, and revised national indicators as on June 2022. Another important publication which is released today is Youth in India 2022. The youth of India are the innovators, creators, builders, and leaders of tomorrow, which rightly describes the importance and relevance of the youth in every generation. With India having one of the world's highest population, data and statistics on youth are essential because it is this youth population that contributes both to the workforce as well as a market. The report captures diverse profiles of young people, both at the national and subnational levels, and has been prepared to serve as a compendium of socioeconomic indicators of youth. The need of youth development also reverberates through the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, where almost one-half of SDG targets refer to young people explicitly or implicitly, with a focus on empowerment, participation, and well-being. This publication will enhance public access to information pertaining to youth of the country. All these reports are being released as a part of the celebration of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, a Government of India initiative to celebrate and commemorate 75 years of progressive India and the glorious history of its people, culture, and achievements. The Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation is celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav Week starting from 27th June by organizing a series of activities. Words do count and numbers do speak. The reliable, relevant, and timely data and statistics wrapped in these reports are important ingredients necessary to produce quality research and sound decision-making. The Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation is continuously making efforts to continue to play the role of data steward and work towards standardizing the concepts and methods so that good quality data reaches out to the masses and policies framed are data-driven and never data-blind. These documents are a result of the dedicated and untiring efforts of the team of officers at MOSPI, who are motivated to light the lamp of knowledge through numbers and statistics. These documents would be available in the website of MOSPI, and the users can use them as and when required. We now move to the technical session of the day. MOSPI plays a crucial role in responding to the emerging and evolving information data needs on a wide range of socio-economic demographic issues prevailing in the society, embarking on significant modernization in the face of rapid major technological and socio-economic changes. On each Statistics Day, one particular theme of current national importance is chosen for intensive and focused discussion, filling the data gaps and improvement of timeliness quality in that area. In 2019, the theme for Statistics Day was Sustainable Development Goals. Taking this forward in 2020 and 2021, the theme for Statistics Day was set to be respectively SDG 3 and 5 and SDG 2. This year, data for sustainable development has been chosen as the theme for Statistics Day. Sustainable development is the masterful balance of meeting our own needs without jeopardizing future generations' ability to do the same. Sustainability is a paradigm for thinking about the future in which environmental, societal, and economic considerations are balanced in the pursuit of an improved quality of life, rightfully acknowledging the Native American proverb which says, "We do not inherit the earth from our ancestors, we borrow it from our children." Sustainability and well-being can be truly gauged only when we broaden our horizons of our economic growth. The Beyond GDP Initiative is one of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, which has at its core SDGs. Sustainability and environmental concerns go hand in hand. Realizing the growing demand of the environment-related data, the ministry adopted the System of Environment Economic Accounts framework, which is an internationally agreed standard in 2018. And since then, the ministry has been marching ahead with unparalleled zeal to compile data and accounts in the domain of environment, making its own way amidst the various challenges. Through the dedicated efforts, India has created for itself a significant place on the globe. For a country like India, balancing economic growth, social equality, and environmental sustainability is a tough challenge, and India is constantly attempting to strike the right balance between all these three. There's no denying the fact that sustainability is the path for prosperity, and NSO India is committed to produce data for sustainable development, because better the data, better the decision, and so better the lives. India's commitment is reflected in the complete convergence of the National Development Agenda with SDG's motto of which is to leave no one behind. Perfectly reflects in government's motto of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas, and Sabka Prayas. To talk in further detail, let me invite Ms. R. Savitri, Additional Director General, Social Statistics Division, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. She is an Indian Statistical Service Officer of 1986 batch. In her current capacity, she is primarily responsible for her work related to sustainable development goals, environment accounts, gender statistics, and other social sector statistics. Her vast knowledge and expertise in the field of energy statistics has helped NSO initiate the process of compilation of energy accounts in India. Madam has been the guiding force behind all the endeavors of the division. Ma'am.
Good morning, everybody. Respected Honorable Minister of State, Professor Bimal Roy, NSC Chairperson, Dr. G.P. Samantha, Secretary cum Chief Statistician of India, Dr. Shombi Sri Sanjay, award winners, my dear colleagues and other participants. As you are all aware, the theme for this year's Statistics Day is Data for Sustainable Development. Of course, throughout the day you have been hearing about sustainable development and SDGs. So in my presentation, if there are some repetitions, please pardon me. I'll start my presentation with briefly defining the concept of sustainable development. The concept of sustainable development was propagated by the Brundtland Commission report released in 1987. The publication of the report is considered a milestone in triggering international awareness and discourse on the importance of global sustainable development. The report has defined sustainable development as development that meets the need of present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Sustainable development requires an integrated approach that takes into consideration environmental concerns along with economic development. A further step in the process for the achievement of sustainable development refers to the identification of the Millennium Development Goals. These objectives were defined in the year 2000 and were to be achieved by 2015. It had 8 goals with 18 targets and 53 indicators. It had just one goal specifically on sustainability, namely ensuring environmental sustainability. This was followed by the Sustainable Development Goals. The Millennium Development Goals had 18, as I said, 18 targets and 53 indicators. Out of these, 12 targets with 35 indicators were adopted by India. The United Nations, with the aim of taking forward the success of Millennium Development Goals, started post-2015 development agenda to define the future global development framework that would succeed MDGs and integrate the 3 dimensions of development: economic, social, and environmental. The SDGs were adopted in 2015 by the United Nations General Assembly and is intended to be achieved by 2030. They came into force in 2016. There are 17 interlinked global goals and 169 associated targets. SDGs are not legally binding, but the countries are expected to take ownership and establish a framework for achieving these goals. This is just a screen showing all the 17 goals. UNSC created the Interagency and Expert Group to develop and implement the global indicators. Indicator framework exists both at the global and the national level to monitor the progress on the SDGs. Data on these indicators help the policymakers to assess the status of implementation and take evidence-based decisions to improve the status. The SDG motto of leaving no one behind can only be achieved if accurate, timely, disaggregated data is made available and accessible. In India, MOSPI has been assigned the task of developing the National Indicator Framework. Similar to the Global Indicator Framework, the National Indicator Framework is also evolving in nature. The first set of NIF was released in 2018. Since then, the indicators are being reviewed every year for addition, deletion, and refinement. A baseline report was also released then with data for the year 2015-16. Annual progress reports are being released on 29th June every year, and we release one today also. In compliance to the Cabinet approval, a high-level steering committee has been constituted under the chairmanship of CSI and Secretary MOSPI, with members from Niti Aayog, Ministries of Home Affairs, Health and Family Welfare, Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Finance, and MOSPI to periodically review and refine the National Indicator Framework. Again, just a quick view of the various publications that are being released. The current one is not here, which you just saw. As per this latest report that was released today, our indicator framework has 286 indicators, and data is available for 268. For the others, data is under compilation by the respective ministries. Most of the data 81% is sourced from administrative sources, rest are through census and surveys. MOSPI is one of the major data source ministry. Within MOSPI, most of the data comes through our national sample surveys and the National Accounts Division. Some are from the other divisions as well. The other major sources are Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. They also provide data for around 45 indicators, most of them from their NFHs. Ministry of Environment, Forests and Climate Changes, approximately 20 indicators, and Ministry of Education, another 20 indicators. As we saw earlier, for 18 indicators, data is still not available. Further, some indicators are not in complete match with the global indicators, and some are in partial match. So we have taken several steps and continue to take steps to bridge the data gaps relating to the SDG indicators. We have entered into a tripartite memorandum of understanding with UNRCO and NITI Aayog relating to support for data, indicators, and statistics for monitoring the SDGs in India. We are collaborating with the UN agencies under this MOU, specifically with FAO, ILO, UNFPA to develop indicators, and with UNDP in helping the states to develop their framework. We have carried out a nationwide multiple indicator survey as part of 78th round of National Sample Survey during January 2020 to August 2021 to collect data of some national and global SDG indicators. We have also aligned some existing surveys, namely the Periodic Labor Force Survey and Time Use Survey, as per the requirements of data requirements of SDG. Besides, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare has also made changes in their NFHS questionnaire as per SDG data requirements. The goals can be achieved only with the active involvement at the sub-national level. MOSPI is providing adequate technical support to the states in development of comprehensive and inclusive SDG monitoring framework. The ministry has developed and circulated guidelines for development of state indicator framework to facilitate and assist states and UTs for development of a state-level monitoring framework in their respective states and UTs. The guidelines provide step-by-step guidance for development of a state-level monitoring framework, including institutional arrangements to track the progress on the SDGs by building on the existing national indicator framework. Training, workshops, and seminars on SDGs are conducted with states and UTs for developing the state indicator framework, enhancing capacity development, creating awareness on SDGs, etc. Through these efforts, 29 states have developed state indicator framework, and some states are also working on district indicator framework. In fact, the Ministry of Panchayati Raj is now working on localization of SDGs. They are trying to create an indicator framework at the Panchayati level, where MOSPI is also a member of the committee. A publication, Guidance on Monitoring Framework for SDGs at Sub-National Level, was released this March, which, besides providing guidance to states and UTs on developing the indicator framework, also includes best practices of some states and UTs for the others to emulate. To enhance awareness on SDGs, a documentary film on SDGs in Hindi has been developed and dubbed in English and 15 other regional languages. These documentary films have been very helpful in creating awareness on SDGs at sub-national level. They are in the public domain. For several SDG indicators, the milestones have been indicated in the global SDG targets, whereas for remaining indicators, the milestones need to be decided by the respective countries. Existing milestones also have mostly been set for 2030. However, to ensure effective monitoring, milestones need to be fixed for the interim years as well. MOSPI has initiated effective steps to identify the interim milestones for all the national SDG indicators. The concerned subject matter ministries and departments responsible for implementation of respective SDGs are setting milestones for the SDG national indicators so as to monitor the progress made towards achieving the goals. We will continue the initiatives for the further alignment of NIF with the GAF, provide technical support to states and UTs in development of sub-state level monitoring framework for SDGs, and as being member of IAEG SDGs, continue providing technical support and expertise for refinement of methodology of certain Tier 2 global SDG indicators in order to make them Tier 1 global SDG indicators. Data availability and quality have steadily improved over the years, but we still require coordinated efforts to come up with innovative ways to produce and apply data in addressing the challenges in measuring all the indicators and targets of sustainable development, especially availability of disaggregated data to ensure that the motto of leaving no one behind is fully achieved. I end my presentation here. A very happy Statistics Day to you all and to myself. And to keep up with the theme of today, let us all work towards making data available for all the indicators under the Sustainable Development Goal. Thank you for your patient listening.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the valuable insights. Moving ahead to the next session of the technical presentations, the ensuing data revolution not only holds the potential to support and inform action towards realization of the UN Sustainable Development Goals, it also holds great potential to marginalize, exclude, and misinform. Building trust in data, especially in this era of alternative truths, is typically linked with notions of ensuring transparency and visibility, data quality assurance, and maintaining data provenance. To give more insights on the theme of the day, we have amongst us a man with a very dynamic profile who has devoted more than 25 years of his career to promoting inclusive and sustainable development internationally. He has most recently served as United Nations Resident Coordinator in Armenia, after holding several leadership positions at the United Nations Development Programme, where he was Resident Representative in Armenia, Deputy Resident Representative in Georgia, Deputy Country Director in Lebanon, Regional HIV/AIDS Practice Team Leader for UNDP Europe, and the Commonwealth of Independent States in the Russian Federation. Program Manager for the Western Balkans in New York, and Assistant Resident Representative in the Russian Federation. He is a published author of works in health economics and was a United States Agency for International Development Policy Champion, as well as a nominee for the UNDP Administrators Award. He is Mr. Shombi Sharp, the UN Resident Coordinator for India. I would now request Sir to kindly come upon and deliver his valuable insights on the theme of the day that is Data for Sustainable Development. Please welcome sir with a round of applause.
Honorable Minister of State, Sri Rao Inderjit Singh, joining from online, Sri Hasija, Director General, NSO of MOSPI, Professor Bimal Kumar Roy, Chairman, National Statistical Commission, Dr. Sangamitra Bandupadhyay, Director, Indian Statistical Institute, joining as well online, Sri Nanda Kumar, Additional Secretary, Additional Director General, MOSPI, my dear colleague, Dr. Sanjay Kumar, UNFPA. Namaskar, mujhe aap sab se milkar bahut acha laga. And I would especially like to start with congratulating the award winners today. To all of you, I say shabash. It's truly a great honor to join here on behalf of the United Nations system in this very important event. This is actually my first opportunity to participate in Statistics Day here in India. And I think recognizing the importance of statistics, of data for policy and society is poetic to be taking place here in Delhi, the capital of India, given India's enduring leadership and commitment for the same, beginning with ancient times, as we heard earlier, carrying through to the leadership of Professor Mahalanobis, all the way through to today, and recognizing the important role that India is playing also in pushing forward the global SDG agenda. It's my very deep pleasure that the theme of today's discussion is, in fact, data for SDGs. SDGs, I have realized in my short time here in India, has been embraced by this country to a degree beyond any that I've seen in all of my other postings. And India is very much to be congratulated for that, at all levels. Truly at all levels, from the center to the state, Panchamrit, to the individual household level. Really impressive. And I'd like to congratulate MOSPI, the ministry, on the SDG reports launched today as well, that were presented, all coming together as part of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav year as well. Now, it goes without saying, first of all, that data is the foundation of the SDGs. That's what it's all about, and we've just seen a very impressive presentation on that. It also goes without saying that the world today is in turmoil. We are facing multiple crises at once, the confluence of pandemic, of war, of climate change, of food and fuel challenges, of rising inflation, and all of these coming together at once is a stark reminder of the world that we live in, of the interconnectivity of this world, of the nonlinearity, of the unpredictability of this world. Yet still, policymakers need data and evidence as a steady rudder to navigate these turbulent times and to make informed policy decisions. That data is foundational to decision-making, of course, is not a new concept. We've heard some illustrious quotes, and I'll offer a few of my own. If we go back in time a little bit, the famous detective Sherlock Holmes once said that it is a capital mistake to theorize before one has data. But sticking with the crime genre, the famous British economist Ronald Coase was supposedly said that if you torture data long enough, it will confess to anything. So we have to find that balance, and actually as a graduate student of economics, I remember myself being tortured in my economics, in my statistical classes, and wish that I could have benefited from Professor Roy's instruction instead. I'm sure it would have been much more enjoyable. So, in other words, data, especially big data today, presents both big opportunities and big challenges. Risks, never more than ever before. In a digital world that we live in, with this fourth industrial revolution blurring the lines between physical, digital, and the biological spheres, we see that this is increasingly important, all that you are bringing together here in this room today and at the dais. And colleagues, I'm very pleased to say that 3 years ago today, as has been mentioned, the UN in India, together with MOSPI, came together to launch the National Sdg Dashboard, an important innovation to promote the transparent and data-driven decision-making for achieving the Agenda 2030. And this is a good moment to remind us that the SDGs themselves are both a vision and a metric, a way to understand where we want to go, a roadmap, the life that we want as a human community, as well as the KPIs to measure and track our progress along that path. And with rapid technological progress worldwide, we see that there is a growing connectivity-related digital divide, which is heightening the existing divides within our societies, reflecting the wide differences that exist between and within countries. For example, in India, we see closing the rural-urban data gap will be key to understanding SDG progress, will be key to leaving no one behind, to ensure that no one is left uncounted. It's increasingly important to move beyond conventional wisdom and conventional stereotypes about the rural and urban digital divides. For example, while just 31% of the rural population is digitally connected now versus 67% for urban, rural connectivity is growing at a pace 3 times that of the urban population, meaning that by 2025 already, long before 2030, there may be more internet users in rural India than in urban India. Yet digital ecosystems risk remaining divided, especially in terms of how we produce rather than just consume development data. So I think going forward, integration truly relies on enhancing our understanding of how closely the rural and urban communities are linked. Another important area, open data. An important principle to help overcome these divides. Open data enables a vibrant, transparent, and accountable government and society, and also lowers the costs of data analysis by permitting crowdsourcing, the challenges and the solutions facing society and the economy. And colleagues, so many encouraging examples are coming out of India now in terms of closing the leaving no one behind gap. India's commitment to rigorous statistics and innovative data science techniques are making this happen. Measuring SDG progress among people with disabilities, for example, using new questions that were added to the NFHS 5. Ongoing improvements to nutrition and survey and food balance sheets. News that the National Sample Survey will again be conducted in the near future as a critical metric and measure for national poverty measurements, as well as SDG targets. And the pandemic has demonstrated the ability of the National Statistics offices to provide new information rapidly in near real time for policymakers to address crises. India can build on this increasingly global role for bridging the data divide. Countries that already lack resources and skills also lack the capacity to collect and harness data, and they're at a clear disadvantage for achieving the SDGs. Here, there's a further role for India to play as an ICT and digital economy powerhouse and leader to help pave the way for development progress through support to other countries. An example of this, the recent launch of the ITU Regional Center here in Delhi on telecom standards being set up in India will help promote India's 5G standard as a model across the world for connectivity. And India's statistical machinery has global significance with its long tradition, again going back to Professor Mahalanobis and the invention of the household survey, to continue to lead the way on methodological advances. Here I would like to again congratulate MOSBI, the ministry, on constantly innovating in data science and techniques, including the Data Innovation Lab and incorporating new data sets. I would also commend India for its globally significant focus on protecting data privacy and championing this issue in digital trade discussions, including those recently held at the WTO. India's position on these issues of how to protect people's data, data being the new oil, as we say, is an important pillar of its global leadership and role on behalf of developing countries as a whole, but not just developing countries, North and South, East and West. Community-based monitoring is another key aspect for improving data for SDGs, with a greater focus on non-traditional sources of data, such as community-based monitoring systems. And we have seen this most recently come into sharp focus as civil society-led data collection methods were proven quite valuable during the COVID pandemic, when CBM initiatives supported in many cases by the UN, by UNICEF, by UNDP, and others allowed us to quickly survey the impacts of the pandemic on the most vulnerable. It is this system that allows us to include the voice and the views of those who would otherwise be left behind into the data. I believe this was also a point mentioned by Professor Roy, the importance of going to the household level, to the community level. I'm pleased to say that to support all of this, the UN system in India has partnered a long-standing and effective partnership with the ministry, in addition to working with Niti Aayog very closely on tracking SDG progress, for example, launching the India SDG Index. The UN, through the UN RCO agreement, MOU, and other UN agencies have come together, working with MOSBI in many different dimensions to help improve the measurement of that progress. Collectively, we work on a tripartite basis, and we help to convene all of the UN agencies with their respective nodal line ministries coming together through the leadership of the ministry to further improve on an ongoing basis, as we've heard today, India's national indicator framework. The UN also partners in the Data for Development Coordination Forum on SDGs with the ministry and with Niti Aayog. And we are working as a partner to further improve data indicators on the most vulnerable from across the subnational context, again, including indicators on persons with disability, on nutrition, on child labor, child protection data, as well in partnership with ILO and UNICEF. So I think bringing all of this together in closing, again, to reiterate that data and statistics-driven governance is based and must be based on the lived experiences of individuals and families. As we know, they are not just numbers. Data are people. And this drives real progress on the national priorities, on the national vision, and the SDGs. This is particularly important here in India. Actually, I could say more important in India than any country in the world, because we know that something approaching perhaps even 50% of the global SDG targets live here in India. So with India's success in achieving the SDGs, the world can have success in achieving the SDGs. Let me wish you up sabko Statistics Day ki hardik shubhkamnaएं. बहुत धन्यवाद.
Thank you, sir, for your magnificent deliberations. All of us present here, both physically and virtually, are greatly benefited through your kind words of wisdom. Genuine sustainability sits at the core of 5 critical dimensions: people, prosperity, planet, partnership, and peace. Talking about people, India, a country with a considerable large population, has the privilege to experience the phase of demographic dividend. But the challenge of the century is to solve the problem of meeting the increasing needs and expectation of a growing population, while at the same time modifying the current production and consumption patterns to achieve a more sustainable development model and address the links between development and rapid population change. India is constantly advancing towards addressing the challenge and harnessing the opportunities of population dynamics to promote sustainable development. Today we have amongst us Dr. Sanjay Kumar, who is working as Population Dynamics and Research Specialist at the United Nations Population Fund in India. He has more than 2.5 decades of experience in research on population dynamics, reproductive health, nutrition, and gender. He holds a PhD in demography from IIPS Mumbai and has extensive experience of undertaking demographic analysis, including population dynamics, estimation of sex ratio at birth, and using indirect estimation of demographic parameters. He has published many articles in reputed journals. He has been closely working with various ministries on SDG indicators and its monitoring, and providing technical inputs to the large-scale data systems such as National Family Health Survey. Without any further delay, may I now request Dr. Sanjay Kumar to enlighten us with his intellectual and inspiring words. Sir.
Thank you, ma'am, for kind words. Good afternoon to all. Dignitaries at the dais, including Professor Samantha, Secretary and Chief Statistician, Professor Bimal Kumar Rai, Chairman, NSC, and other dignitaries, my colleague, senior colleague, Sham Bishop, UN resident coordinators. I'm actually truly humbled to be before you and to talk about some of the comprehensive thing which my colleague, as a whole comprehensive collaboration between the United Nations and the ministry to take this agenda on SDG forward, what has been done. And I think he has already covered very comprehensively about the collaboration, but what are other journeys which we have done together with the ministry, which I would like to highlight, and probably it will be really beneficial for all the participants here to understand that if some indicators are shown, that these many indicators, but to add one indicator, how much amount of efforts it takes, its validity, its checking, going through the technical advisory committee and all. To that extent, I'll give you some glimpses of our support and our open collaborations with a welcome approach by the ministry. I think the topic is very apt for today's National Statistics Day, and I think we are also towards, or maybe in the midway of our journey towards SDG 2030. So that becomes very, very important. Where are we in terms of what we have achieved, how many indicators we are able to put in the SDG National Indicator Framework, for which the report has been launched today, a very latest report. Let me give you some examples for a few indicators and how we collaborated and we tried to enrich the National Indicator Framework. Please allow me, sir, to take very one particular indicator, which is the number 5.6.2, which says a number of countries with laws and regulations that guarantee full and equal access to men and women aged 15 years and above to sexual and reproductive health care, information, and education. This is a global indicator. And what happens is we worked very closely with the SST department And based on the official statistics and official information submitted by the ministry in collaboration with various other ministries to the headquarters of UN in New York, we obtain that data and use the global indicator methodology from the metadata. We produce that indicator. It has gone through several rounds of validations, subject to scrutiny by the Technical Advisory Committee, and I'm happy to say that in today's released revised NIF, this indicator has been added. So it is not that we have added and we work together, but India has added one more indicator, which I just wanted to congratulate Ministry for that. So that's one aspect. Secondly, there is another indicator on gender and reproductive health, which is 5.6.1, which says proportion of women aged 15 to 49 years who make their own informed decisions regarding sexual relationships, contraceptive use, and reproductive health care. Again, this is a global indicator, and this is based on at least 3 questions from NFHS survey, and till NFHS 4, we had only 2 questions. So with our influence, with our support, and with our advocacy with the Ministry of Health, by virtue of the member of the Technical Advisory Committee of NFHS 5, and even for NFHS 6, we were able, and a ministry has taken the bold decision to include one of the questions, which allowed us to get into the additional indicator, which is 5.6.1. After getting the unit level data, we calculated together with the ministry officials, we worked together, and in order to validate that, we had sent it to the technical agencies, which is IIPS, to vet it and see whether it has been calculated as per the methodology, and we are waiting. Had we gone that once, probably this would have also been, but I am sure that in the next round, this indicator will be added for the country, and India will be one of the forerunners to have this indicator, because this indicator is not available for many, many countries. So that's again a very good collaborative effort, and we look forward that India should also show the way for SDG indicators. I'll just take one more important point, which is on the sub-national estimation of SDGs. As we know that our whole ethos of 2030 agenda is leaving no one behind. And we do know that we have data either at the national level, and also most of the data is available at the state level, but disaggregation is a problem. And as you know, that district is a very, very viable administrative unit, and unless and until we got a disaggregated data, it will be very difficult to pinpoint which actions could be undertaken. Towards this end, we collaborated with the ministry, and a committee has been formed, a working group of the expert has been formed to take this agenda forward, and we are trying to apply a small area estimation. I'm sure it will be very close to the heart of all the statisticians here. It's a hardcore statistics which we are trying, and we are trying to apply it. And I'm happy to say that a lot of progress has happened for 1 or 2 indicators which we have taken as an example. However, this will go with validation by the Technical Advisory Committee, and only after that, if it passes throughout the quality parameters, we will try to see is that the same methodology could be applied for many other relevant indicators in years to come. So that will be the other important aspects which we are very closely working with the ministry on SDG indicator. Lastly, sir, I have also been asked to talk about some data users' perspective. And I had been using data for the last 29 years from various sources, including census, NFHS, and you name it, NSSO and all. Sir, I also remember, sir, in one of the interactions, you had shown your concern that how our new data set should be more popularized, and you had a lot of plans on that. So my humble suggestion would be is that the way NSSO data, like labor force data, and is being provided, probably it needs little bit effort to make it more accessible. And we are not going to discuss how, but I think I will be happy to collaborate with the concerned officials, and we can take it further. Just to give an example, the remarkable thing is that any data from NSSO is available on net. You just go and download. Even I can just download right now. But probably if we just add a user's registration, we would be knowing that who are the users, from where are they, and probably when you next time you have a new data sets available, please reach out to them with their email and say that this data is available, and also in turn we can try to find out what kind of deeper analysis they are doing. So probably this will go a long way in popularizing all your gold mine set of data and something. So with this word, I once again congratulate to all the ministry officials, to you, sir, and thank you very much for giving us an opportunity to talk about our collaborations with you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for those knowledgeable remarks. Those words indeed will help us to develop a new vision of managing statistics using various tools emerging out of modern technological advancements. May I now request Shri A. Nandakumar, Additional DG, IICU, to propose a vote of thanks. Shri A. Nandakumar is an Indian Statistical Service officer of 1987 batch. He has been an extremely dynamic officer and has contributed to the Indian official statistics system in various capacities across ministries and departments. Over to you, sir.
Honorable Minister of State, Independent Charge, Statistics and Program Implementation, Rao Inderjit Singh Ji, Chairman, National Statistical Commission, Professor Bimal Kumar Roy, Professor Sangamitra Bandupadhyay, Director, Indian Statistical Institute, respected Secretary Sir and Chief Statistician of India, Dr. Gdp Samanta, DG Coordination Administration, Hasija Sir, the participants from the UN organizations, especially Mr. Shombi Sharp and Dr. Sanjay Kumar, and Dr. Padam Singh, the winner of the coveted P.V. Sukatme Award for National Award for Lifetime Achievement, and the winners of the P.C. Mahalanobis Award, D.K. Sinhaji and Dr. K.P. Suresh, winners of the essay competition, and their family members who are accompanied them, and respected central and state government officers who have joined us virtually as well as physically, and my esteemed colleagues, DGs, ADGs, DDGs, directors, joint directors from the MOSPI as well as from the other ministries who have joined us in this occasion, friends from the media, and all the ladies and gentlemen, esteemed colleagues present here. It is my very proud privilege to offer a vote of thanks in this formal occasion of this auspicious occasion of the 16th Statistics Day. First of all, I would like to place on record our deep sense of gratitude and thanks to Honorable Minister, Statistics and Program Implementation, as well as Corporate Affairs, as well as Planning, Rao Inderjit Singh Ji, for giving us a very valuable suggestions and address to us, which has illuminated all of us. And we are very thankful to him for his very extremely well-presented address to the gathering on this auspicious occasion of the 16th Statistics Day. Now I would like to place on record our deep sense of gratitude to Chairman NSC, Professor Bimal Kumar Roy. In spite of his very busy schedule and other commitments, he has been graced this occasion here, and he has already given a very extremely good speech to us, which has illuminated all of us. We are thankful to you, sir, for your graceful presence here. Director ISI, Professor Sangamitra Bandupadhyay, has given us a televised address, which has really set the tone for today's Statistics Day deliberations on data for sustainable development. We are really thankful to her and also ISI for the continued collaboration with the ministry. And I am really thankful to DG sir, Hasija sir, who has supervised the functions on the Statistics Day here. We are extremely thankful to Secretary Sir, Dr. Gdp Samanta, also Chief Statistician of India, for really supervising the whole arrangements for this Statistics Day. Whenever there used to be any difficulty, we used to approach him, and he has been very kind with his time as well as with his able leadership and guidance. This function would not have been possible without his guidance and leadership, sir. We are really grateful to you. We are really grateful to UN organizations, especially Shombi Sharp sir, as well as Sanjay Kumarji, for being present here, and they have given an excellent address on the theme of the day, Data for Sustainable Development. I'm really thankful to Dr. Mrs. Sri R. Savitri, ADG of the Social Statistics Division, as well as her team, for setting that context for today's theme, which is Data for Sustainable Development. And she has made us aware about the valuable contribution the SSD division is doing towards this theme of this Statistics Day. Dr. Padam Singh, who is a very senior officer for Indian Statistical Service, when we joined service, he has given us a lot of lectures. At that time, sir, you were ADG in the health department, sir. Actually. So, sir, really congratulations to you for winning the coveted National Sugatme Award. And we wish that you continue to contribute towards official statistics as well as applied statistics, and win many more awards also, sir. Thank you, sir, very much. And DK Sinha, sir, is a DDG in the National Accounts Division of MOSPI. He has won the jointly along with Dr. KP Suresh from the ICIR, Principal Scientist, National Institute for Veterinary Epidemiology and Disease Informatics, Bangalore. They have won the Mahalanobis Award for their outstanding contribution to official statistics. So I congratulate both of them and also wish them all the best in their career and do much more awards in future. We have the Ministry of Statistics conducts the essay competition for the college students, and on the theme of the Statistics Day, and there are 6 winners as well as 6 consolation prizes for the essay competition. I congratulate all of them, and I wish that your your association with the ministry will continue, and we will be collaborate each other. And I wish all of you all the best for your career as well as for the advancement of statistics also. And their family members have come all the way from the birth and width of this country, and they are here. So I welcome all of them also, and I also thank them for being here and also motivating these winners for achieving their objective. Now, very special thanks to NDMC for making this hall available, because there were some last-minute cancellations. So NDMC secretary as well as their team has been very helpful in arranging this, making this available, this hall. So I'm thankful to NDMC. ITDC Events has been very kind, including NIC, for making this a live cast of this function possible. So I thank ITDC Events as well as NIC. Administration of MOSPI, especially Joint Secretary and his very vibrant team. They have made all the arrangements for the logistical support. We are thankful to you, sir, for your very able support which you have given to us. The media has been here for both electronic as well as print media. So I am thankful to them. And staff and officers of MOSPI, as well as all the ISS officers present here and other ministries, I am thankful to all of them for making this event a grand success. Thank you, and Jai Hind.
It has been rightly said that gratitude is a currency that we can mint for ourselves and spend without fear of bankruptcy. Thank you, sir, for your kind and humble words of appreciation. With this, we have come to the end of today's celebration of the Statistics Day 2022. And I'm really thankful to all our friends, colleagues, national and international guests who could take out time out of their busy schedule and join us both physically and virtually with us. If time is money, then today you have spent millions for us. It's your participation that has made the event a real success. We hope to have many more interactions with you all in future. Till then, let's pledge to explore newer and wider dimensions of statistics that will help to address all the facets of sustainability and mainstreaming its utility into the policy paradigm. Once again, a very happy Statistics Day to all of you. Wish you all a very safe and healthy life. Thank you so much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Before we disperse, I request all the prize winners of Professor P.C. Mahalanobis Award, Professor P.V. Sukhatme Award, and the essay writing competition winners to kindly come up to the stage for a group photograph with our esteemed dignitaries on the dais.